So ethers are dialkyl derivatives of water. Water has HOH. So if I remove hydrogen and put an alkyl group here, it becomes an ether. So ethers contain alkyl groups on both the sides and oxygen atom in the middle. Both the alkyl groups can be same, they can be different. If they are same, we'll say they are symmetrical ethers. If they are different, we'll say they are unsymmetrical ethers. Like I can write CH3O CH3, or I can say it is CH3O C2H5. Two different alkyl groups. Now if I want to write down their names, we will first identify the longest chain. This is the longest chain. Now on this chain, the chain breaks at oxygen. On this chain, methoxy group is attached. Methane and oxy. So I'll say this compound is methoxyethane because made from 2 carbon atoms. Chain is of 2 carbon atoms. Now in this case, the chain breaks here, but I can say this whole thing is the chain. Now I'll number the chain 1, 2 and 3. At place 2 is the methoxy group. So this becomes 2-methoxypropane because the chain is of 3 carbon atoms. In this case, the chain is right in the center and the chain is of propane. But methoxy group is here, methoxy group is here. So at place 1 and place 3, there are methoxy groups. So it becomes 1,3 dimethoxypropane. This one. Now this is the functional group OCH3 attached on this carbon atom. I'll have to take the longest chain. This is the longest chain. At place 2 there is a methyl group, as well as on place 2 is a methoxy group. So 2-methyl, 2-methoxypropane. 2-methyl is this, 2-methoxy and then propane. One of the very good method of making ethers is Williamson synthesis. The name should also be known, Williamson synthesis. What we are using is an alkyl halide and sodium alkoxide. Alkoxide means methoxide, ethoxide, alkane and its oxide. So I can divide the compound into 2 this way. This is the alkyl halide CH3Br. Sodium methoxide I have taken here. So NaBr can come out. I can write the product CH3, this one, and write in the opposite direction from here OCH3 plus NaBr. Now this is sodium ethoxide plus ethyl bromide or bromoethane. Again I am doing the same, sodium bromide I want to take it out, C2H5O C2H5 and NaBr. So C2H5O C2H5 plus NaBr. Now if I use a these were all primary halides. If I use a tertiary halide, dehydrohalogenation takes place. That means I will not get an ether. Reaction will not take place as NaBr here and OCH3 will get attached here. No. Dehydrohalogenation, which means halogen removed from here, hydrogen removed from here. So if I remove hydrogen here, it makes an alkene. So I've written CH3 as such. I've removed one hydrogen from here, so it becomes CH2. From here, I'm making NaBr. This Na and this Br. I've also taken out one hydrogen from here, which gets attached here. So CH3OH plus CH3OH. So when tertiary halides are taken, ethers are not formed. So we'll say this is the limitation of Williamson synthesis. that we should not use tertiary halide. Instead of that, if I want a product which should be tertiary, I'll take the alkoxide in the form of tertiary. So ONA has been attached to a tertiary carbon atom, and now my reaction will be the same as it should be, like you expect. CH3, CH3 here, this CH3, OCH3 plus NaPr. So this whole thing I have written as such, this, and I've taken this O inside. So till here, this CH3 gets attached, so ethers are formed and NaPr. So another way of making ethers is by dehydration of alcohols. Since alcohols and ethers are functional isomers of each other, so they can be changed into each other. So the first one I've written here is dehydration of alcohol at 170 degree, which you have been always writing. That is, I remove OH from here, from this carbon atom is OH, from the neighboring carbon atom hydrogen is lost. So alkenes are formed. So if I use temperature of 170, then alkenes are formed. But if I use the temperature of 140 degrees centigrade, then two molecules of alcohol change into ether. So CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3 and water. Same product will be formed if I use Al2O3, which is a dehydrating agent. Now amongst the properties, like if I am removing water, it changes into ether. If I add water to this, it again goes back into alcohol. So if I have taken diethyl ether, adding of water HOH, one side H, one side OH, so C2H5OH here, C2H5OH here, so two molecules of ethyl alcohol are formed. PCl5 we've done so many times, you will add Cl here, from the center one, POCl3. So two alkyl halides and POCl3 is formed. This is a reaction something like if I was looking at ammonia plus HCl, then you make ammonium chloride. Similar is here. This also contains lone pair of electrons, and so this behaves like the base reacting with an acid to give you an oxonium salt. So H attaches here because H was positively charged. There are electrons here, so attached here, and chloride is outside. So the whole thing is positive, this is negative. Now this is an important reaction of halogenation. There are two situations here. If I use this diethyl ether, CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3, in dark, this is the functional group. Next to the functional group is called the alpha carbon atom. Now on this functional group, alpha carbon atom is here, also alpha carbon is here. On both the sides, we'll say alpha and alpha dash. So one hydrogen from here is lost initially, H and the Cl attaches chloride here, plus HCl. If I continue this reaction, then on this side again another hydrogen is lost, replaced, and chloride is attached. If this reaction is done in sunlight, in that case all hydrogen, 3 here, 2 here, 2, 3, CCl3, CCl2O, CCl2, CCl3 plus HCl. If you balance the equation, it becomes 10 chlorine molecules here and 10 HCl. With HI, the most important reaction which is asked every year is this reaction. So again, two situations here. If I use cold, then H and I, one side I attaches and one side H. If I attach H here and I here, sorry. So one side H and one side I. So C2H5OH plus C2H5I is formed. if I have two different alkyl groups, here both were same, so it doesn't matter whether H comes here or I comes here. So if there are two different alkyl groups, then the larger alkyl group will form the alcohol. So C2H5OH and alkyl halide will be CH3I. This compound can be written in both the ways. CH3O, C2H5 can also be written, will be the same compound. So always remember that the larger alkyl group changes into the alcohol. If the reaction is done in hot, if it says diethyl ether reacts with hot HI, in that case, iodine gets attached on both the sides. Iodine here, and from the center remember that it changes into vapor, water. So C2H5I, C2H5I plus water. So two molecules of C2H5I plus water. If there are two different alkyl groups, then make one halide from here, CH3I, one from here, C2H5I, and from the center, water. So CH3I, C2H5I, and water. This is again reaction with acetyl chloride. CH3COCl is acetyl chloride. This is diethyl ether. So C2H5Cl I have removed, C2H5Cl. CH3CO from here, OC2H5, OC2H5, which is ethyl acetate. Now aromatic ethers, that is on the benzene ring if there is an ether, it is called methoxybenzene. Methoxy this and benzene, commonly called anisole. So it is an ortho-para-directing group. So these reactions are similar to what we have done in phenol. That is one compound formed, if I am using an inert solvent, one compound ortho product, one para product. If I use bromine presence of iron, then all ortho, para and ortho positions are occupied. So 2,4,6 methoxybenzene. Similarly, nitration takes place in presence of H2SO4 and HNO3. So one ortho product, one para product. Friedel-Crafts reaction is similar to what you have already done. Make one ortho product, one para. This also CH3COCl, so attach COCH3 and one ortho, one para. Try this yourself. And similarly here, if I have with only concentrated sulfuric acid, we will say this is sulfonation, and SO3H at ortho position, SO3H at para position. So this is how all reactions of methoxybenzene are ortho and para directing. So one product, two products are formed, which is one ortho and one para.